Welcome to this special edition of Witchcraft Diaries. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favourite subjects, though I think I always talk about my favourite subjects. So we're going to talk about fairies and seeing fairies, or how to see fairies. People often really desire to see a fairy. People always have. You know, the Victorian photographs of the children with the fairies that were, you know, they weren't real, but it shows the desire people had to see, to believe in the magic of fairies. I believe a long time ago, before we ruined the countryside and the environment, people's connection and relationship with the fairy race, with the she, was much, much stronger. And we have many folk tales and stories of people marrying fairies, people's relationships with fairies, people insulting fairies and causing problems, fairies stealing babies, all these things. And I feel they all link to a closer, heartfelt connection we once had. Maybe a fear we once had, but that fear could have come from Christian influences and propaganda, but a deeper connection we had to the fairy realm. Now, I've done another video on fairies a while ago, which you can have a little look at, and that shows simple ways of connecting with fairies. But I'll just go over in brief a few things you can do to begin your journey with fairies. And it's all very simple, and it's all pretty much free. And the first thing is, just be outside in nature. Your love of fairies probably comes from a love from nature. The two are intrinsically linked. So spend some time being in nature, walking in nature, spending some time with an awareness of the world around you. Do it daily. Listen to the bird song, listen to the wind through the trees. This is all a rich and deep connection with the land of fairy. Clear up your local environment. I've said this before, but I'll just quickly recap. Clear up your local environment. Do something to protect nature. And invite them into your life. So of course watch that other video if you'd like further hints and tips on how to invite fairies into your life. So the first tip for seeing fairies is, do not worry if you don't. They're not like me and you. And we very, very, very rarely see them as full manifestations, as physical, like you see me here or you see this tree here. Learn to see with your heart, and this is the key. Sense with your heart, feel with your heart. Don't rely so much on seeing with your eyes. Really work with the heart chakra, work with the vibration of love. And this is not some hippie, cheesy thing. Love is the strongest vibration, the purest vibration, and see with your heart more than seeing with your eyes. And if you lead with your heart, then your eyes start seeing very interesting things. As I said, don't worry if you never ever see a fairy. There'll be other ways in which your connection with the other world will become strong. Like some people are clairvoyant, clear seeing, some people are clairsentient, clear feeling. Maybe you'll just sense and know when a fairy presence is around you. Maybe you'll hear the tinkling of bells or the sound of laughter. Maybe you'll get a nice scent of a beautiful flower when there's no flowers around. Really work on really getting in tune with your senses. And if you do ever see a fairy, it will be a magical thing indeed, and one that you won't forget in a hurry. Seeing fairies is often most likely and strongest in between places, between times of the year. Twilight is a very, not the movie, the time of twilight is a very much called, you know, it's called fairy time. It's walking through the woods in twilight, you're so aware of the world changing, the world shifting, almost like a portal opening into another time. Twilight is very strong, and also dawn as well. midnight. All these between times are very, very important for a lot of fairy folk reside in between places. They can come halfway between their world and our world. Across rivers, across streams, that's between places as well. So when you pass over a stream, pass over a river, you're maybe entering into a fairy realm. In between two trees, standing stones, waterfalls, all these places are perfect places to see fairies. Sacred spaces, well, it doesn't have to be a famous sacred space. You could just go somewhere and just know in your gut feeling it's a very magical place. So go and spend time in nature and find those places which feel magic and alive to you. Having a nap is often a time when you're gonna when you're gonna see a fairy. If it's a lovely summer day, which it isn't now, and you're resting out there in nature, you're half asleep under a tree, and you wake to a sight that you're not expecting, that can be a time when you will see fairies, and it's a time when I have seen something very magical indeed. Yeah, as I said, it's not when you're expecting it. So if you're going looking out for fairies and going, I want to see one, which we do mostly, it's not as likely that you're going to. There's a relaxed, slower state, meditative state when magic is more likely to happen. So as much as we love going, I want to see a fairy, it's probably not going to happen when we're in those states. So try and relax, meditate. Do this daily so that you can get into that meditative state a little bit easier, that more relaxed, open and receptive state when we can allow nature and allow the Fae to show us what they want to show us. And fairies can come in all shapes and forms. If I say a fairy doesn't look like something, I'm sure it will just appear in that form just to play with me. So fairies can be as big, larger than humans, or as small can be. They can be animals, they can be literally like flower fairies as you're expecting to see them, or they can be something different. So release all expectations when seeing fairies. Enjoy yourself, laugh like a child, go out there and find those magical sacred spaces. Really immerse yourself in nature and immerse yourself in fairy lore. Know the rules as well. There's no rules. There isn't any rules, but no respect, no honour. You know, show the fairy folk respect and show them honour, and then you'll be absolutely fine with them. Leaving gifts, they like gifts. These are all ways to enrich your connection with the fairy world. There's so much to say about fairy magic and seeing fairies that I'll leave it there for now. That's a good starting point. And please share your experiences with me as well. Please share your knowledge and your magic about fairy lore. Gosh, I mean, I can't just do one video about this. This will be on for a year. This would be a very, very long video if I was talking all about fairy lore. So we'll leave it there for now. Please maybe enjoy this guidance, take it out and use it, and let me know what experiences you have. Thank you very much for watching this fairy video. I'll see you next time. Thank you, bye. Psst. Also, don't forget, please share this video with your fairy friends. Come follow me on Twitter for more fairy stories, hints and tips. Follow me on Twitter and also like and subscribe this video. Please leave comments below and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.